Hey guys, it's Elise and welcome back to My Cupcake Addiction. Today I'm going to be sharing my favorite chocolate fudge brownie recipe with you guys. But first, I've got a super exciting announcement. I've been working for a long time on a t-shirt line and I finally came up with something that I love that I know you guys are going to love. The Life is Sweet range. So I've designed this shirt, which is basically a couple of my favorite things combined. You guys know I love rainbows, you know I love candy, and because I love all of those things, a rainbow candy love heart shirt is pretty much the perfect way to kick off a little bit of My Cupcake Addiction merchandise. If you guys want to check out how to buy this shirt, it's only available for 2 weeks and I've only made a certain amount of them. I'll leave a link down below to the online store so you guys can work out how to get them, where they ship, prices, all that sort of stuff. But if you want one, get in quick because they're not going to last forever. In decorating our indulgent chocolate fudge brownie today, I decided to team with the theme and we're going to be decorating it like a giant rainbow candy love heart. Let's get into it. To make your delicious brownies, you're going to need some good quality dark chocolate. You're also going to need some butter, and I've just cut mine into cubes. I've got some fine sugar or caster sugar, a little bit of unsweetened cocoa powder, and I've also got some plain flour. I've got 3 large eggs, and I'm going to be cooking all of those today using a saucepan and also using a baking tray lined with some baking paper. The first thing you want to do is you want to take your saucepan and just pop your butter in, and that's going to be on a nice medium heat. So you want that butter to be melted, almost boiling, just some little bubbles coming up in it, and then we're going to add our chocolate, turn off the heat, and let that chocolate melt in that nice hot butter. The heat from the butter is going to be enough to melt that chocolate and it's going to give us a beautiful, delicious, buttery, chocolatey mixture. Because the heat's turned off, I can leave that now just to sort of melt that chocolate down gently by itself. And while it's doing that, we're going to add our eggs and our sugar into an electric mixer. You need to beat these together for about 10 minutes. Could be 7 minutes depending on the speed and the strength of your mixer, but you want to make sure that these are light and fluffy because this is how we're going to add kind of a bit of air to our mixture. So we've kind of got 3 different things on the go. We've got our eggs and sugar beating. I'm making sure that my melting chocolate's melting nice and gently, and then I'm going to sift my flour and cocoa together into the bowl. This is going to add just that little bit of extra air. I can't even tell you how good it smells in here right now. Chocolate and butter and sugar and eggs. This is my happy place. So your egg and sugar mixture should be almost white, kind of like a vanilla milkshake. We've beaten that and absolutely combined it and creamed it so it's really, really light and fluffy. So now I'm going to gently fold my chocolatey mixture in through my egg mixture, but I want to do it nice and gently. So I'm just going to pour in that chocolate and it's kind of going to sink to the bottom. We're going to have to work to bring it off the bottom and fold it all the way through, turning our delicious vanilla milkshake into a beautiful chocolate milkshake. As I fold that, you can see how much air we've incorporated just by beating those eggs and sugar so much. So we've used no rising agent in our flour today. We're only relying on the rise that we've created from the air that we've put into that sugar and egg. So you'll see when I'm folding, I'm using big sweeping movements. If I just stir normally or stir too vigorously, I'm going to knock out all of that air that we've just put in. So I'm using my lovely big sweeping kind of movements until it's all combined and I can't see any more little rivulets of chocolate going through the vanilla. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take my sifter again and I'm going to re-sift the dry ingredients back over the top. This is going to help them evenly distribute, but it's also going to make sure they're as super light, fluffy and airy as they can be. Perfect. Now once again, folding gently through until all of those dry ingredients are incorporated. This smells like absolute heaven. I can't even tell you how much I want to lick this bowl right now. All right, now with this, you want to stop mixing just as you see that everything's combined. So definitely don't overmix this. Otherwise you are going to start to knock that air out. And I've got a lined baking tray. You can use a brownie pan, you can use a baking tray, but I've greased it with some cooking spray and then lined it with a little piece of baking paper. In goes my delicious brownie mix, evenly over the pan. If you wanted to at this point, before you put it into the pan, you could stir through some chocolate chips or some chocolate chunks. I'm not going to today because I know I want to cut my brownie into a shape, so I want my brownie to be nice and smooth with no little chocolate chips to mess with my knife. Perfect, that one's going off into a moderate oven for about 25 minutes. You'll know it's done when the top starts to get just a little bit flaky and you should be able to just gently touch the center. It'll be a little squidgy because it's a brownie, but it shouldn't be too soft and it should slightly spring back. My brownie's out of the oven, it looks perfect, it smells divine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let it completely cool in the tray. But while it's cooling in the tray, there's no reason why we can't start the decoration process. So I've got a little bit more dark chocolate, or you can use milk chocolate if you want a slightly milder taste, and some heavy whipping cream. This is cream with about a 35% milk fat. I'm just going to pour the cream over the chocolate, and then I'm going to microwave that in 30-second bursts, stirring in between until it's beautiful, soft, smooth, silky dark chocolate ganache. So your ganache should be like a smooth river of melted chocolate, and now I'm just going to pour that over my cooling brownie. I'm going to smooth it off using an offset spatula or just a regular spatula all the way to the edges. And then I'm going to give it a couple of hard whacks on the bench because I can see some air bubbles in my ganache and I want to make sure it's really nice and smooth. It's glossy, it's chocolatey, and it looks absolutely perfect. I'm going to let that now completely cool, and then we're going to cut out our love heart shape. After waiting what feels like hours for my brownie to cool down, really it was only about 30 minutes, it's time to pop it out of the pan. So I'm going to take a knife and just run it around the outside edges of the brownie, ganache and all, just to make sure it's nice and loose. But because we've got that baking paper underneath, it should come out no problem. Fingers crossed. I'm going to use an offset spatula just to get in underneath, and then I'm going to carefully lift my brownie by sliding 2 hands underneath. The one thing you don't want to do now is break your precious brownie. As I place it down, I'm peeling the backing paper away and placing it down onto my chopping board, getting rid of all that messy baking paper. So now I'm going to carefully freehand cut a love heart using a sharp knife. If you're not confident that your love heart's going to be even, you can always just print out a picture or a template and use that as a guide. Now, I don't want to say that these bits here are waste because I do not believe in waste when it comes to brownies. So I'm going to slice those ones into nice little squares. But the main feature here is going to be the love heart. I'm going to clear up around it and then we're going to decorate. So for my candy selection today, I wanted to do different sizes, shapes and colors of candy, but I also wanted to keep in mind that this is a chocolate brownie, so pretty much every flavor I put on there has to go with chocolate. I wouldn't want to be putting Skittles or jelly beans or anything like that. I tried to go with really chocolatey flavors, so I've got a combination of regular M&Ms, mini M&Ms, chocolate-coated sunflower seeds. I've got some little boiled sweets, which are going to be a touch unusual, but they add a great amount of shape, and I don't have too many of those. To decorate, I'm going to take my candies, and I'm going to start with the top color and the bottom color. So for me, my top color, looking at my shirt, is going to be red. Because my boiled sweets are the largest pieces, I'm going to position those on kind of initially just to make sure that they're really spread out and I don't end up with 3 or 4 of them together. And I'm trying to keep it all really, really tight and high on the heart so I don't run out of candy before I've done both sides. This technique is so cool. You can use it on cakes, you can use it on cupcakes. I'm using it today on a brownie, but it's just a really interesting way to make kind of a candy collage. So that's how you make the most amazing, indulgent chocolate fudge brownie ever, and that's how you turn it into a really cute little candy heart. If you want to get your hands on one of these t-shirts, make sure you quick because they're not going to last for long. I will definitely leave the links down below so you can go to the online shop and work out how to purchase them. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do for 2 new videos every week. And as always, guys, thanks very much for watching.